Welcome to the Poundcast. Brent, good to see you again.
Nice to see you too, guy.
Brent and I just had a wonderful and hilarious and poo-filled conversation with Sarah Squirm. And you're going to, I think if you're a pound pimple, I think you're going to love it. And, we also, after the main episode, of course, we kept talking to Sarah and it got even funnier.
Had some
And
great laughs in that.
there's some great laughs, and that's called the Poundcast After Dark. And if you want to if you want instant access to that, you just go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Poundcast. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us, and you could have access to all the After Dark episodes and some other bonus stuff that we put up there once in a while. So if you want to support us, do that. And if you want to support us in another way, you can check out LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Louisville Vegan Foods is our sponsor, of course. And they make Louisville vegan jerky, mouth-watering, plant-based jerky that comes in many wonderful flavors, Brent. Don't you think?
What are you doing, your George Bush impression right now?
I don't know.
My name is George Bush, and I love Louisville vegan. I mean, I'm now doing kind of Bill Clinton with a George.
I'm kind of doing Clinton, I think.
Clinton with the George Bush face, like.
Oh, George, his lips are a little more tight like this.
Oh yeah. He's like this. He's like, my name is Bill Clinton, but I look like George Bush, and I love Louisville vegan foods. Actually, that didn't sound like Bill Clinton. But what do you get
I'm kind of doing more of a De Niro here.
What do you get when you cross?
You want to go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com.
A little bit. You want to go to Louisville Vegan Foods? A little bit. You get the different flavors, perfect pepperoni, a little bit.
That's right. And use the code word. Did I say? Use the code word Poundcast and get 20% off. Did I forget about that? Can't forget about that.
Well, you do get that. Regardless whether you forgot about it or not, forget about it. You're going to get that discount anyway. So 20% off, and it has a shelf life of 9 months, this jerky, and it's handbagged in the United States of America.
It's proudly made by Louisville Vegan Foods. And what else? I mean, look, it's good stuff. It's a win-win situation. You can also get it at the store. Sprouts, Whole Foods, freaking places like that.
Don't even say Target. I think people looking for it at Target, and maybe they're not finding it there. So.
I don't know. Maybe they do. If it's not there, order it. You don't want to go to a store, right? You don't want to go to a freaking store, wear a stupid mask.
If it's not there at the store, forget about it.
Get
online and use the code word pound. Get 20% off.
Yeah, then it shows up in the mail. And what? Should I remember it, Brent?
Like this.
Or forget about it.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I was going to say, you read my mind. I'm going to say, if it's not at the store, forget about it. Go online, remember this, or something like that. Use the code word Poundcast. Now that you're going to remember. I don't know, something like that. All right. Anyway, look, if you want to watch video versions and you want to see our De Niro faces and our George Bush faces, you can see video versions of the Poundcast on YouTube. youtube.com/thepoundcast.
That's right. And of course, we're on social media. I'm on social media. You follow me, Doug Pound, 2 G's. Poundcast is there on Instagram. It's called the Poundcast, right, Brent? On Instagram.
Poundcast. You got Brent Weinbach Comedy there, and on Instagram, you got just Brent Weinbach on Twitter, all that, whatever.
All
YouTube, Brent Weinbach, you got it.
All that.
Anyway, let's get it balling here. I think we did a pretty good, succinct intro here.
Yeah, without any further ado.
Now, look, check this out. We got a remix here of the theme song. And who did this week's remix? None other than one of
our very own,
Jack Birch, who you can follow his stuff. L. Burcho is the Instagram, I think, and El Burcho is the YouTube. He did a remix of the theme song. And so we're going to hear that for this episode. For the theme song. How about that?
Yeah. And how did he get it? He joined the Patreon because the Patreon has all the stems for the theme songs, and you can do your own remix. That's another perk of the Patreon.
There's also a Discord for the Poundcast as well if you want to check
That's
that
right.
out. And
that's right.
You know, you can just find it. You just got to find it somehow.
Hit us up. We'll let you know. If you join the Patreon, you're definitely going to get it. All right. Should we roll the clip and then we'll get on the show? We're on with the show with Sarah.
Let's roll it. You ready?
Yeah. Roll the clip.
1, 2, 3.
Doug and Brent. 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 Doug and Brent.
We are rolling. Welcome to the Poundcast, Sarah Squirm.
Sarah Squirm.
Now, Sarah Squirm, why are you on the show today? Because I said, Brent, we got to get Sarah Squirm back on the show. Every time I hang out with Sarah, it's just nonstop laughs. You got to get her.
It's nonstop laughs.
Remember we went on that walk last week and it was just nonstop laughs?
It was nonstop laughs. It was freezing cold. Actually, it was boiling hot.
Right.
Once cold, it was boiling hot.
It was boiling hot once we got moving.
It was boiling hot once we got moving.
No, Sarah, where are you and what's behind you? And did you paint that and what's going on?
Hey, hello, Doug and Brent. Welcome to my I got a quote unquote art studio, which is my friend's garage that I pay for half of. And I went insane. I've been having I can't wait to hear about if you guys have gone insane, but I've gone insane. And I painted this 20-foot eyeball mural over here. And I started this other mural over here. Is this a visual you said a visual podcast?
Well, it's both.
It's both. Yeah, this will be on YouTube, so people can check out your artwork there.
Well, for all my YouTube listeners.
Well, let's describe the here. I'll describe it for the audio.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. Thank you, Brent.
There's
basically one of her walls is just full of these sort of amorphous eyeballs, kind of. Well, they're pretty eyeball shaped, but they are pretty distorted. Their shape is also kind of distorted as well, and they're just a lot of veins. The veins are really thick; they're almost like intestines, almost. And there's these, and yeah, so a bunch of eyeballs, blue eyeballs too, by the way, or the irises are blue. So that's something to keep in mind. That's one wall, and then she's.
Wait, but do you know what this is, Brent?
Is it intestines?
Yes, but do you know what? I can't point to it. I can't figure out how to point to it. Do you know what that is? It's a secret door disguised as a square eyeball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a secret door.
Oh, there's a secret door right there?
There's a secret door right there.
Where does that go?
A crawl space that also has a bathroom in it.
Okay.
You know, the thing about crawl spaces, people never use them. I mean, look, people go to their living room, they're living it up, they're watching HBO Go, HBO Max now. They're in their dining room and they're dining.
And they're dining.
And they go in their bedroom and they go to bed.
And they go to bed.
And they're in their crawl space. Is anyone crawling?
And that's my question to you, Doug. How are these crawl spaces tenable? There's wires and exposed dirt. How is something bad not happening in these crawl spaces?
Bad things are happening. But most of the time, no one's crawling in there.
Do you want to crawl in there right now?
I mean, it's made for crawling.
Do you guys want to see the crawl space?
Yeah. Is it
easy to take a peek?
Yes.
Take a peek, you know?
We'll describe it.
Brent, do you want to describe this on the way?
This one is kind of looks like intestines with flowers and eyeballs. So it's, I guess the veins of the eyeballs are intestine-like, but yeah, it's kind of similar to the other wall, except it's more colorful, I would say.
And then this, look at this, secret door handle.
Oh, okay. This is much more apparent now that we're up close.
All right, let's take a peek.
Oh, this is a pretty big space.
Oh man, I could do some crawling in there.
Huh? Look at all that dirt.
Oh, see, it's dark and yeah, there's dirt in here, and it's
your audio got really good.
My audio just got good?
Yeah, like you're in a dead room now, and we can tell.
It's not a sonorous environment that you're in right now.
It's not all like it's not roomy.
But it
Should
doesn't.
I record a podcast for my crawl space? And
Yeah, it should be called The Crawl Space with Sarah Squirm.
Oh my god.
The Crawlcast. But the problem is it doesn't feel safe in there. And what I mean by that is it seems like there's things crawling around in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have things crawling?
Well, the garage, not to brag, is like built into the side of a hill.
Yeah.
So when you open the secret door,
Yeah.
you're basically just opening the door into the sheer side of the hill. Like it's just dirt.
Yes. That's right. So there's probably centipedes
Exactly.
in there.
Do you think, well, here's my question. Do you think when centipedes are having a hard time expressing themselves, in public, they don't want to be shamed or something, and then another centipede will say, "This is a crawl space. You should feel free to." It's kind of like, okay, it's a joke about this being in a safe space, but it's
right. I get it. Yeah, that's
I mean,
good.
look,
Yeah, we get it.
look,
good,
we're working
Doug.
on it. Okay,
It's good, Doug. I like it. Yeah. Hey guys, this
No,
is a
Doug, I'm
crawl.
laughing.
Guys, I want you to feel free to do what you do. This is a crawl space, and we, all of you are welcome here.
Okay, well there it is. I just have to like
Do an
pronounce.
act out.
Yeah, you got to like say it right. I didn't.
It's like for babies as well. Hey guys, just so you know, feel free to express yourself and do whatever you want. It is a crawl space.
Right.
This is a crawl space, so
I know you guys aren't used to. You're kind of, you have your diapers on. You're kind of used to keeping things contained, and feel free to just go balls out. This is a crawl space, and you can take that diaper off too if you want to.
No.
Just
Do
let it go.
babies have balls?
Well, they can go balls out emotionally.
But do babies have balls?
I think
Well,
little boys have a little scrotum, right? There's got to be balls in there. Right?
Actually, I would say that baby's balls, baby boy balls are big.
No.
It's all alliterative, It's a baby boy balls are big.
No.
They are.
Dog
They're really
dropped
big.
the track.
They're really big. I remember
Do you think there was ever like? I mean, by the way, this is like a Gary Larson cartoon, where it's like two centipedes talking, and it's like, don't worry, this is a crawl space.
Right.
A Gary Larson cartoon, a Far Side cartoon. But like, what do you think anywhere in the world there was ever like a really dumb like parent, and it's like their first time being a parent? They're like, "Where's the baby?" I put it in the crawl space. Forget it. Let's move on from the crawl space.
No, that's good, Doug. Let's get it going. That's good.
I always thought that was just a funny name for like a place in a house,
Oh. So I'm trying to come up with a joke, but my brain hasn't worked in 2 months. Oh. Where are you guys getting vaccinated?
Where are you guys getting vaccinated these days? Do you So
Is it, no,
where are you guys
wait.
vaccinated? Where are you guys vaccinated these days?
Are you getting vaccinated at Medicare for crawl space?
Medicare for crawl? Is that what you're trying to say? You know what?
I got one.
Okay.
This is the centipedes. They're doing the Pledge of Allegiance or something like that. They're real patriots, and they go, with liberty and justice for crawl. I kind of mispronounced justice, but that's all right.
Wait. Oh, I see. Well,
with liberty and justice for crawl.
I remember back around 2005, all my centipedes friends, they were all on crawl space, and they had each other in their top 800 because of the feet. I don't know, because of crawl, kind of like MySpace, but crawl space. Forget it. This is dumb. But Sarah, what if like they turn bars and like Zebulons and stuff into like, instead of going there and drink, you go get vaccinated, you know? It's like, where are you going to go get vaccinated? You want to go get vaccinated? Where should we go?
Yeah, where are you guys? Yes, Brian.
Hold on, I gotta say this one though, because how about this? Centipedes, they go. Well, it doesn't matter. Anybody, you can basically, if they're going from bar to bar, they go all in one night. Go from Zebulon.
I see where we're going.
It's a pub crawl.
It's a vaccinated space crawl.
Something like that. Oh, you could do that too, yeah. But yeah, going back to Doug's point, you go out. That's how you get vaccinated. You go out to some kind of social place and do it.
Yeah, like, are you guys getting Pfizer? Or are you doing Moderna? You know what I mean? Like, you say that kind of stuff?
No, I go for the Pfizer, and I'm like, make it a double. And he's like, well, you got to come back in 2 weeks for the second shot or whatever. Don't you have to get two shots?
Give me a shot of Pfizer and make it a double. That's what you say when you go to the place, the hospital or wherever you get it done.
You ever do like a suicide at the soda fountain where you do all the sodas?
So you do Moderna and Pfizer? Mix them up. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get that suicide vax.
I say that when I don't know if you've ever done this before, Sarah. Doug, you probably have, but have you ever gone pee in the same toilet as someone else who went pee in that same toilet and you hadn't been flushed yet?
Yep.
That's a suicide also.
That is, and actually, my pee has been smelling really bad lately, and I don't know why, because I've been drinking so much water, and I recently peed on top of my boyfriend's pee, and the smell was one of the worst smells I've ever smelled. It was a suicide. I committed it afterwards.
Maybe it was the combination. When the peas come together, they form it's like a chemical reaction. Do you ever think about that?
Because pee by itself is like not the worst smell in the world, but two different peas.
Yeah, well, I remember when I was younger, growing up, I shared the pee with some siblings. I shared it. It was a sort of a thing where we were trying to conserve on flushing. So we put 3 peas in there at one point, maybe 4 peas actually, and because it was all of us, and it stunk.
Yeah.
Yo, we're like 3 peas in a podcast right now.
No, Doug, no.
Come on, I'm sorry.
3 peas in a crawl space.
I can't believe I'm seeing what the inside of Brent's house looks like. I thought I would never see the day.
You're not getting the full. You're getting.
Oh yeah, you got to give us the tour.
I just showed you my crawl space.
I want to see that.
I don't like that here. I don't try to give tours. I'm just giving you a little taste here.
What's the couch? Let me see the couch at least.
The couch is gonna go. I'm gonna get rid of it. It ain't.
What?
By the way, can I say something real quick? I got an idea. You guys just gave me an idea for a slasher rom-com. It's called 3 Men in a Crawl Space. And
it's a snuff video where someone gets murdered.
It's not a snuff film. No, it's a theatrical release or a home release, digital. And there's these 3 guys, and they all want to murder this. They all want to murder the same woman, and they have to share a crawl space.
Oh, I thought that it was that they got trapped in a crawl space, and what do they find in there but none other than a baby? Because what else would you find in a crawl space? And then they have to raise that baby together, and it's 3 bachelors.
And it's called 3 Men and a Baby in a crawl space.
Yeah, 3 men and a baby in a crawl space. Three men and a baby found in a crawl space.
And can I say something that I've been biting my tongue about this entire time? The two of you are looking skinny. Hear me? Skinny. I'm looking at two skinny girls right now. Look at
that because Doug looks really skinny. I mean, I am skinny.
No,
naturally.
the two. I think I've never seen you this skinny before. Both
Me?
of you disappearing before my very eyes.
Well, I will say this: for some reason during this quarantine, I have lost weight.
I know. I can see.
You lost weight too? How much more can you even lose before
I know. I mean, I'm down to
what are you clocking
college size.
What are you clocking in at, Brent?
You don't even want to know. I'm 120 now.
No, you know.
Actually, I mean, look, here's the thing. In all through my 20s, I was always 120, 122, 125, you know? And then in my 30s, I was 130. And then...
Oh my God, you went up to 130 pounds?
It's not like I was trying to watch my weight or anything. And then, and then I got sick at the end of 2019, and it could have been the coronavirus, maybe. Who knows?
Been the coronavirus.
You know? But I got really sick, and I lost a lot of weight, 5 pounds. I went down to 125, and I thought, damn, I haven't weighed this much since I was in my 20s. And then for some reason during the quarantine, I lost another 5. I don't know why, you know. But
Brent, my fat ass weighs more than you.
No way. You seem like a little skinny little thing.
No, you weigh more. I think I weigh like 125 or something.
No kidding, huh?
Yes, way.
Well, because you're wearing that. Why you all bundled up? You have how many layers do you have on?
Yeah, you got to take it out. You got to take those clothes off. You're going to weigh, probably 110 or something.
Oh.
It's for video only.
She's wearing a Bernie's. Now we won't get political.
What?
You did so much work for Bernie. You made that your life's work this past year. Is there any hope, Sarah?
No, we're done. Everything is so busted. Everything is so bad. Unless you bought stocks in GameStop today. Then you can make a couple G.
Oh, right.
GameStop is going off. If you bought GameStop 6 months ago, when, say you thought to yourself, if you just had this thought, the Penis 5 is coming out, right? The Penis 5 is going to come out. Everyone's going to get the Penis 5. Even though you saw the pictures of the Penis 5 and it was huge. It's like, how are you going to fit that? How are you going to fit the Penis 5 in your
Are you doing your newest material right now?
A little bit, but okay, but whatever. All right, when you heard that the PS5 or the PlayStation 5 was going to come out, you could have thought, I should maybe invest in GameStop, which was only $4 a share at the time. And you could have thought, this is one of the few places people are going to be able to get the PS5. Now I can't even say it right. And so if you invested in it then at $4 a share, just think about that.
Well, what? What would have happened?
It would have held on to it, and it hit 500 today or something like that.
What does that mean with your $4?
Well, now that $4 will be worth 500 or whatever, and then you dump it.
That's how it goes.
You pump it and dump it.
What it means is first of all, I don't think anybody who invested in it when it was $4 a share probably wouldn't have held on to it this long, because they would have thought it can't go any higher than this, and they would have sold it. They probably would have sold it if it went up to, say, 200, right? Or 204. If it goes up $200 from 4, think about how many shares you would have bought. First of all, how much money would have put into it?
Doug, did you know that you have a podcast with a stock day trader over here?
Let's just say you put $400 into it, even, right? So you bought 100 shares. 100 times, let's say, it went up $200. You would have made $200,000 in 6 months. It's that easy.
For doing nothing? So this is what I don't understand. There's this guy. Okay, besides the fact that I don't care about any of it, whatever. Actually, I do care about it, but whatever.
Easy money.
But it's like, are people paying attention to it all day?
Yeah, some people are.
They have nothing else to do but look at this.
That's what they do for a living. People, they day trade for a living.
They're sickos, is what they are.
Well, you know, you just got to be into crunching numbers.
Apparently, that's you all day.
That's
I
not the
was
only
upset.
thing he crunches, though.
It's not the only thing I crunch.
Drew, how else do you think he gets down to 120?
Exactly.
Sarah, you keep going on our walks. We'll get you down to 120 in no time.
I love that. I'd love to have a bigger thigh gap than Brent.
I'm underweight. I mean, I should be 125, you know.
You're wasting away in front of our very eyes. You're serving skinny goals though for me. I want your body type.
Maybe I've got a tapeworm going on or something, you know. Who knows?
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
Maybe I'm tapeworming over here, you know.
Let me have it. Oh, what do you call Brent's lower intestine tract with the tapeworm in it?
Tape deck? What?
Space.
Crawl space.
I mean, I wasn't trying to take it from you, but it was the layup, and I thought,
I was laying it up.
Okay, because I like riddles, and I like to figure them out, and I realized, oh, it's a crawl space. So,
No, I was serving it up for somebody to smack it back down.
Thank you. It's a spike. You served up a spike.
I served up a spike.
Or something like that. You laid up a spike.
I laid up a spike.
Yeah.
You were talking about your weight, like you weighed whatever in college or something. I have no idea what I weighed at any point in my life except the last couple of years when I was like, maybe I'm fat. And then I weighed myself and I'm like, I went online and I'm like, how much am I supposed to weigh if I'm this tall and this age?
Right.
And I'm like, I think I'm fat. So I brought that down. Then I just looked at that scale every day and I was like, number's got to come down.
That sort of happened to me. I didn't weigh myself often ever in my 20s. When I went to the doctor for a checkup or something, that's when I would get weighed, right? You know? Hey, when you went to the doctor's office, did you get weighed? I don't know. There's some kind of joke there.
Dude,
I went to the doctor's office yesterday. I totally got weighed.
Dude, I'm really high right now. Do you want to know why? Because I was smoking weed.
Wait, I don't get that.
I get it. I got it.
I'm high for smoking weed.
I got it. No.
It didn't really work.
No, you would say I'm really low right now because I smoked weed, which makes you heavier, not lighter. If weed would make you high, weed makes you low because I don't know.
You know what I'm really jealous of? Like people who wrestled in high school who can like eyeball someone from across the room and their exact height and weight to a T. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Oh, they went on to work at the carnival.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have friends in high school that could like guess people's weight and height?
I know like guys who can do that.
Right.
Like my dad can kind of do that. He can be like I feel like it's like a wrestler in high school. It's like a weird sports guy thing.
It seems hard though because people have different sort of body densities and bone densities too. I feel like I have light bones. That's why I think I weigh less. I think I have a light, I think I have a small frame, I'm small. And I was going to just say
that around a big old dumper back there, we wouldn't know.
Wait, what?
You could be rocking a heavy ass.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, underneath that screen right down there.
Yeah.
Oh, I could be. No, it's pretty small. I got the small bod. But, some people have dad bod, they say, but I got small bod. So anyway, I wouldn't even use that expression bod. I would never say that, but I did say it just now. All right,
you got sun bod.
Sun bod? Exactly, yeah. Sun. That's funny. That's a good one, actually. Instead of having a dad bod, you have a sun bod.
It means you have a sun bod is when you have like a human-sized head, but the body of a child.
Yeah, it's underdeveloped. It's malnourished. So I never weighed myself, and then I always thought that I weighed around 122, 125, and then this is in my 30s, and then my friend had a scale. He said, "Really weigh yourself," and it said 130 on there. I said, "What? When did this happen?" I thought, "Oh, I'm getting bigger now as a 30-something." And then I decided to get a scale for my bathroom, and then I would kind of check it kind of frequent. Now I do check it kind of, when I'm about to get in the shower to see what it looks like.
Yeah, so that was going to be my question. When you weighed yourself at your friend's house, did you strip down all the way? What did you have your shoe? I mean, you probably had your shoes on, those big heavy Reeboks. Those are going to add a couple pounds.
No, I think I took.
Yeah, did you take off the shoes?
I think I did take off the shoes, and I took off any heavier garments,
Now,
Is that why you're always wearing a winter's coat? Because you're just freezing to the bone? Because
I'm
you're
probably
so
anemic
small?
or something. Probably anemic or something. I'm a little chihuahua over here.
You got to get that blood test. Make sure you got enough iron.
Yeah, maybe I don't. Sometimes I take multivitamins with iron.
You might be all right. Well, so do you
I have
take
a
a
question.
shower? Do you take a shower with all your clothes on?
Look, my people are small, by the way. My brothers are really small, and my mom is
True.
small, My
I have a
sister's
question.
small. Please,
I have a question.
please, Sarah.
Yeah.
Penis question. Penis and balls question.
Penis 5?
When penis 5. When you're getting a penis 5, when you're peeing on the toilet, do your pants go all the way down to the floor? And second penis question, do you ever pee sitting down?
I only
recreationally?
pee sitting down.
Interesting.
Well, at home, I only pee sitting down. If in a public restroom, I stand up.
And why? Do you think it's more meditation time?
No, it's more contained and easier to sit down and pee if you're like at home, because when you stand up, things can squirt in the wrong direction, or or also it splashes anyway. Even if you get it right in there, it splashes out of the toilet, and I don't want that. I end up having to wipe the bowl down because there's all these sprinkles going on the bowl. And so if you sit down and pee, it's all in there and it's clean, and it's kind of more just relaxing.
Aren't your cheeks and thighs all speckled?
It's not like that, no, because the proximity
Like
that
that.
your penis is to the bowl and the water, it contains it a lot more, and you got to do it. In fact, I don't even like to go pee in public restrooms, because I know that if I pee in a public restroom, there's a good chance that, well, one, it could splash out of the water
Right.
onto yourself, or sometimes the pee squirts out in the wrong way and it gets on you.
Sarah, there's a thing that men have in male gendered bathrooms. It's called a urinal. So you pee standing up, but now they have these ones that you don't flush. It's a waterless. So you pee.
Oh, like a trough?
No, it's a urinal, but it's waterless. So there's no flush. It makes sense. Why do you need to wash down pee? It's already pee. Let it just flow down into the tubes.
It's already flushed.
I knew a guy in Chicago, famously, who I'd never seen it with my own two eyes, but his bathroom in his apartment was just a drain hole in the floor.
What about for number 2?
I think he would have to go into his landlord's office across the street or something insane like that. But I was always like, oh yeah, you just pee directly into the pipe. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, cut out the middleman. Just pee. It's all gonna go into the same place.
Yeah, I've used those before.
Well, maybe for number 2s, he just sort of when you weren't there, or when you were there, he's like, oh yeah, I totally go to my landlord's house to do that. But then when you're not there, he's pooing next to the pipe and chopping it up.
He has to pulp it up. He has to turn it into a pulp.
He pulps it up. He's got one of those mashed potato things,
He's got
Sarah, the mashed potato smasher.
He's got one of those NutriBullets. He puts the poo in a NutriBullet, turns it into a puree.
That is so gross, dude.
Yeah, Brad, that's gross, dude.
I'm just thinking about that, the rinse down, and then where are you going to dry that off at? You're not going to put it on. It's not dishwasher safe.
It's all in where that drain is. There's probably a hose or something there, right?
There's nothing. It's just a hole in the ground.
There's no faucet.
I don't even think there's a sink, to be honest.
Golly.
Well, you know how there's like I said, there's waterless, eco-friendly urinals for men. I think they should have those for women. There should be a stall
Yas.
just for
does.
pee, you know. But then also, I'm going to take it to the next level. There should be a waterless toilet for both genders, all genders, for poo. Here's how it works. You poo onto a conveyor belt, and that just rolls it off. Okay, imagine it just kind of rolls it off. It's just continually rolling, and it just rolls it off into a receptacle. Yes, Sarah.
I have a second pitch on that.
Okay.
It's a waterless toilet for all genders that is a high-speed vacuum suck, like a Dyson. So it just sucks it right, right? It's out of there. It is out of there. There is no water involved.
I love this. I love this, Sarah. I just have to add to that. I love this so much. Like when you look down, typically for the last hundreds of years or two, there's a bowl below you, right?
There's
with our design, there's no bowl. It's basically a void, and there's not even any walls. Like at the top of the rim, it's infinity. And then somehow it goes down, and the Dyson tornadoes the material in away. It's so far down. It's away, and it's out of sight. It's out of mind. And
what if you
the air is sucking down too, Brent? So even if you pee down, there's nothing to splash. There's nothing to hit. It goes down 10 feet.
What happens if you drop your wedding ring in there or something like that? If you're married,
that's easy to get out. It has a grate that filters out any solids will be, washed away, and then
I see. Sarah?
If you're married, yes, Sarah.
What if you're not married and you drop a wedding ring down there?
Yeah, that's even worse, probably.
Well, what if you drop a phone down there?
The phone goes.
I mean, there's a price to pay for innovation. Yes, Sarah.
I also read that water exists in a toilet because it neutralizes odor.
That makes a lot of sense. But with our system that's going to be sucking air down, there's no need to worry about that. Yes.
Well, I think camper toilets have, remember Moshe and Natasha showed us on this podcast in video form, there's soil in there that will neutralize the poo. And you mix it with the soil or something like that. So maybe in this void, at the bottom of the void or whatever, there is soil. And it mixes it in there. Sarah.
Yes, I want to build on that. I'm just wondering, I'm with you. I'm totally on that train. And just to piggyback off that, does the void need to be like at least 30 feet by 30 feet on either side all the way around?
Well, I'm afraid of the void, to be honest.
I stare into the void. But Sarah, I'm going to bring us all full circle here. And this is why I brought you here today, because I wanted to talk about crawl spaces and how they are underused by every American in our country. What are they might, hide a little piggy bank in there or something, but crawl spaces are underused. That's why the crawl spaces of our country need to be converted to open air toilets. And all we'd simply do for the smell is put a fan on the outside of the house and it sucks it out horizontally. And it could probably blow it right into put the fan, I don't know, by your front door or something.
Have it connected to a hose that goes to your enemy's place. And then you just start blowing towards your enemy. I don't know. But maybe you don't want to have an enemy. So who likes the smell of poo? This is what it is. You go on message boards, okay, and you find people who are into poo fetish kind of stuff, and there's scat, and then you basically get connected with them, and you have your hose, you're connected to that person, and then they get to breathe in all the poo they want, Sarah?
Yes, Sarah.
What if they live too far away from you?
Well, you might need to relocate. Sarah?
And Doug, do you remember the last time we hung out? What were we talking about?
Were we talking about poo?
Bidet. We were talking about bidets because I just got a bidet. Can't recommend bidets enough to all the listeners and viewers right now. If you are Jewish, okay, and you have issues with shit being a situation in your life, I have my first hemorrhoid. Everyone said, Sarah, be careful with the bidet and how it interacts with your hemorrhoid. I said, it's my first hemorrhoid. I'm nervous. I don't really, it's baby's first hemorrhoid. Okay.
Our very first hemorrhoid.
I believe that the healing power of the bidet, shooting ice cold clean water at your asshole, is less of an irritant to a baby's first hemorrhoid than caustic paper towel. What's it called?
Paper towel, toilet paper. But what about wet toilet paper?
I get it. Yeah.
But what about wet toilet paper?
What about wet toilet paper?
Yes.
How am I making toilet paper wet?
What?
Sarah, I think
by wetting it under the faucet in the sink.
Like people use the wipies.
I'm not talking about that.
Brent, if you're going to use now we're getting into the nitty gritty here, but if you're going to wet down some toilet paper and then wipe, that moisture, it's going to swim into your hand. You know what I mean? The fecal is going to get into the moisture, into the thing. Are you wearing a rubber glove or what are you doing?
No, I do it all the time. This is my method.
Brent,
yeah.
no.
First of all, I do not get any poo on my hands. Okay.
And there's micro fecal is on there.
First of all, you have to wipe it. You have to make sure you have a few layers there of toilet paper. Okay. Make sure it's going to be thick enough.
A wasteful amount. Okay, go ahead.
Well, look, hey, toilet paper is something I go through a lot.
Oh,
and look, this baby has had many hemorrhoids. Okay. And I've probably been on baby's first 300 hemorrhoids.
Well, here's the problem, Brent. The amount of TP you're going through, is going to give you. By the way, Sarah, you should do a movie or like your next thing should be called Baby's First Hemorrhoid or like maybe just my first hemorrhoid.
Can I tell you all the emotions that went through me when I discovered I had a hemorrhoid?
Tell us what?
Can I walk you through all the emotions I went through when I discovered I had my first hemorrhoid?
Yes, please.
Fear. Okay. When will this go away? Will this happen to me all the time now? Have I broken a seal and now my life will be plagued by chronic hemorrhoids? Or will they go away and if I eat well and stop rubbing my ass with so much toilet paper? You know what I mean? Like, have I broken a seal?
Go ahead, Brent. Yes, Brent.
Is it external or internal?
I think it's external because I can feel and see it.
Okay, it's external, yeah. So look, I'm a veteran, and I can sort of tell you that. Look, I think my hemorrhoids have probably not been as bad as other people's because mine go away.
They go away.
And some people get these procedures done where there's the rubber band technique that they use. Do you know about that?
No.
Do you want me to go into detail?
Yeah.
No, I think we understand.
No,
I don't think
I don't.
So this is a way that people get rid of hemorrhoids is they tie these rubber bands. You have to do this. A doctor has to do this, but they tie rubber bands on the hemorrhoid to cut off circulation to it, and it basically kills it, and it turns into sort of a crust and
a raisin
breaks off. What?
Wait, how big are people's hemorrhoids?
I don't know, but they tie these tight rubber bands on them.
That sounds like a prolapsed anus.
It does sound like that, doesn't it? But all a hemorrhoid really is some sort of inflamed vein.
Right, because it's like if a butthole is like the spiral of skin puckering, it's like one branch of the spiral is inflamed.
It's a branch. Yeah, it's a vein. Yeah, exactly.
One wrinkle of the butthole
It sounds like
is what you're talking about. Now, I don't think
really
I've ever
weird.
had. I don't think I may have had one, but
No, then you haven't. Then you definitely haven't. If you don't know,
man.
then you haven't.
I can't believe I haven't had my first hemorrhoid.
It's
Dude,
like
you gotta get
feel
one.
inadequate. It's like you feel inadequate. You know, it's like you don't have pubic hair.
I
yet or
know.
something like that.
I hope one day I'll pop my dingleberry. It's
But
like
now I see.
instead of popping
now
your
I feel
cherry, it's like
shame.
pop your dingleberry instead of popping your cherry. You know what I'm saying?
Another method people use is they get an injection into their hemorrhoid with a syringe of sorts, and then that will kill it, I guess, or something like that. But I find, and these are painful, procedures, and I find, and I've never done this before, but I've heard people who feel like they need to do that. I found that you just be cool for a few days and it'll go away.
Just be cool, man.
Cool, man.
But Sarah, the bidet, bottom line,
Bottom.
no pun intended, but
Bottom line.
This needs to be part of Medicare for crawl. Is everyone should have access? It's literally, I feel like it's like a healthcare item. My asshole, for the first goddamn time in my fucking life, God bless the Europeans, is so goddamn motherfucking clean. For the first fucking goddamn motherfucking shit ass time in my life.
Hold on a second. For the first time, your butthole is clean.
There's no question when you're doing your like intentionless kind of loose laissez-faire wipe the asshole with toilet paper, you cannot deny that there's residue. You cannot deny that there's unknown particles. You can't deny it.
I can deny. I deny.
No, you
I deny
don't
that.
know. You
I
don't
deny that.
know.
I guarantee you, I'm so thorough. And this is probably, I'm so thorough and I have techniques and my stuff is clean, okay? And I use toilet paper.
I'm worried that's why you're getting hemorrhoids, is because you're sandblasting your hole every time you wipe.
I don't get hemorrhoids that often.
I'm literally sitting on one right now and it hurts actually.
You ever hear that Emo Phillips joke?
No.
He's there's I mean, you already know where this is going, but this guy is sitting on. Well, the guy's in a waiting office and sitting on it. There's a guy. He's at the doctor's office. He's in the waiting room and he's sitting on a beanbag, or something like that. And the doctor comes in like, "Okay, what are you in here for?" And he's like, "Oh, hemorrhoids." He's like, "Okay, where's the hemorrhoids?" He's like, "Look again," or something like that. And the point being is that he's sitting on the beanbag. He's sitting on it is the hemorrhoid.
I see.
It's a good joke, but I didn't tell it right, of course. But
hey, it's okay. You can tell jokes like that. It's a crawl space here.
All right, let's move on.
Are you at a standing desk?
I stand up and I sit down. Let's sit down. Let's try this. Go back down here.
Doug, I noticed you, Doug, writing stuff down during these episodes sometimes. Are you writing down questions for the guests?
Well, that's my new technique, is sort of just doodling and writing down little notes. And if I have a little joke, because I don't like staring into the computer, it makes me like, after like an hour or something. So now I kind of go back and forth. Is it lame when I'm doing that?
Well, I'll say this on not this episode, but I've noticed it on other episodes where it looks like you're almost falling asleep or something. So someone will be talking and you'll just be like this.
Well, I'm actually paying more attention.
Because he's writing down every single word I'm saying.
No, I'm not falling asleep. Brent's the one that straight up fell asleep once on a podcast.
No, I didn't. No, I did. Did I?
Yeah, you fell asleep once.
Wait, which one?
Which one?
I won't even say
It was a
which
while
one.
ago. I don't know. It was a while ago.
Well, that's because I have mild narcolepsy. Yeah.
Oh, convenient.
It's true. I feel like I do, because sometimes I get tired in this kind of way where I can't fight it. It's this sleep spell. It takes a hold of me and I can't fight it. But if I dip into sleep for just, it could pass. But there's this, a few minute period where I can't stay awake. I have to fall asleep. It's impossible.
Can you fall asleep in unconventional places?
Yeah.
So
I've seen him do
jealous.
it. I've seen him do it. He sleeps right in his car. He's just right. He's like this.
So
no, I don't have my hands on the wheel. Actually, I do
10
this.
and 2.
I do this sometimes. If I feel a spell coming on, I do pull over and I do fall asleep in the car.
I guess you have mild narcolepsy.
Yeah, and then I fall asleep for just not more than 5 minutes, but maybe less, and I'm wired after that. It's almost like I got a shot of espresso or something like that.
I'm jealous of that. Like when we used to go on like our DIY tours, there's like 7 of us in 2 Toyota Camrys, and we would like be sleeping in someone's like bathtub in Pittsburgh. It's like and then it's like 2 weeks of that. It's I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks. I wish I was like a kind of person who can just like.
Well, that's a different story. I mean, I'm talking about sleep spells. I'm not talking about. I mean, sleeping in a bathtub doesn't sound very comfortable.
Oh yeah. I know.
I wouldn't be able to sleep in that.
Sarah, what are these tours you're talking about? Are you talking about Hell Trap Nightmare?
Yeah, when we used to do that before everything got really sad and bad.
What was the weirdest place you ever slept?
The weirdest place I'm like literally entering my mind palace and picturing literally the dirtiest, nastiest basements in the entire. We did that thing at a show once where we like really didn't have a place to stay. I forget where. It was like random, like Virginia or something like that. And we did the thing on stage where we were like, "Hey, can we sleep at someone's house?" There was like 10 of us, and so then we were just like, I don't know how to like hang out with this like weird person for like 20 hours. Yes, Brent.
You go first, Brent.
If there were 10 of you, why didn't you guys all just split a hotel room together? That would have been really cheap, I think.
I don't know why I literally don't know why. I think we were just trying to see what happened.
Oh, it was more just, it might have been more fun to stay with somebody.
I don't know. We were making so little money at the shows that I felt like bad asking everyone to like pay for their own places to sleep. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not saying own places, or you could have at least got 2 rooms with 5 people in each room or something like that.
And then I would have to pay for it. I mean, I'm rubbing 2 nickels together to make a fire.
No, I'm saying this would have cost people. You could have got cheap hotels. They would have been maybe better than sleeping in bathtubs. Cheap hotels probably could have got a $60 a night hotel or something like that.
That's still that's more than free, right, Sarah?
So true. See, thanks, Doug.
Well, I mean,
I went on one tour. I went on one tour like that. It was with Mikey and Andre Highland, the Triple Dippers tour, where we were like, wherever we went, one of us knew somebody in the town or knew a friend of a friend. And do you know anyone in Tallahassee? And we would get hooked up with like a friend of a friend, like, oh, this person's cool. You could stay at their place. And then it's like, it's always some weird scene where it's like, then you're like hanging out and it's like, you want to watch the bonus features of Blue Velvet? And like you're sleeping where you're like, you're on their couch and everyone's like hanging out. Yeah.
The best place we ever stayed was in North Carolina, like random show in North Carolina. And then someone knew some fucking guy who lived in the woods. And like after the show, we're like driving through the woods in pitch black. We're like, oh brother, this isn't going to end well. And then we get to this gorgeous like hand-built cabin in the woods. The guy had like 5 dogs. In the morning, we showered in a waterfall.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then actually the sound guy at the show looked like Billy Corgan. This is the same show. He was like, hey, like, good show. Do you want this jar of oil? And I was like, okay. And I was like so freaked out. I didn't want to use this oil.
Wait.
Oil for what?
What about Billy Corgan? He played at the same venue? Or he looked like Billy Corgan?
The sound guy looked exactly like Billy Corgan. He comes up to me after the show. Like, we didn't talk at all during the show or before the show, besides like a little bit of sound check or whatever. And he was just like, great show. Like, do you want this oil? And I was like, okay. And I like never, he's like, it's for your face and body. I'm like, okay. I never thought about it ever again. I like put it at the bottom of our like bags. And at the end of tour, I was unpacking and I saw the oil and I was like, the hell? Is it like drugs? I looked it up. $50 a bottle on Goop, bitch. That's right. It was fancy hair and skin oil that was expensive and nice.
Wait, he gave you
Are
Goop?
you guys glad I told?
Interesting.
Do you know the Goop website? Gwyneth Paltrow's like fancy wellness
Yeah,
website?
some sound guy gave you Goop oil?
Yes. It's like $75 for a bottle of what he gave me.
Did you sell it?
No, I use it to this day.
On your hemorrhoid?
I thought the same thing. I was about to say something about that too. I thought the same thing.
Are you guys glad I told that story?
That's
Yeah.
great. I mean, yeah, that shit happens all the time. Usually they give you some dumb stuff that you like, you feel like, I guess I got to keep this. It's a nice thing they gave me, but then you get back and it's like CDs and stuff and you're like checking it out.
No, it's usually CDs or the guy being like, check out my band, not just he like literally just had lotion on him. It was like,
It was unused.
that's the thing. I think it was like his personal lotion or
He'd
like,
used it.
I used to do,
yes.
Sarah, that's a thing. I used to do that whenever there was an attractive girl at like a show. I would be like, do you want some oil?
Yeah.
And you know,
me too.
if they accept it, that's great. And then when they accept it, you got to be like, well, you need some extra hands to apply it or what?
Well, he
He didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want anything to do with me. He was just like, great show. Here's some oil. There was not like, it would have been a story if it was a whole other situation.
Well, just let it come because I think it's a subtle thing. It's like, hey, you want some lubricant? And you know, if they
Right.
kind of say, it's more just like putting the ball in their court to say, yeah, I do. Do you want to help me use it?
Oh,
Sure.
So he thought I never thought of this.
The ball was in
But
your
him,
court.
Like, I was like,
It's more
thanks.
just like he's making a very passive, or he's making a subtle pass at you by saying, hey, you want this oil? And then the idea is that you would respond and say, if you're interested, yeah, do you want to help?
Exactly.
But what's interesting is that's a huge gamble because you're like, this is a $75 bottle of like fancy face oil from Gwyneth Paltrow's website. Do you want it on the off, mind you, he looks like Billy Corgan, on the off chance that you want to have sex with me, somebody who looks like Billy Corgan?
Whoa, we're not talking about sex here. We're just talking about rubbing the
Rub.
oils.
What? Maybe he's like, you see my bald ass head?
Well,
Would you mind putting?
No.
Can I borrow some oil? Would you mind applying it?
Well, assuming that this is Billy Corgan bald era, you know, and
Oh, right. Is it Gish Billy, or are we talking,
or
you know,
No, we're talking-
1979 or what?
We're talking bald drone live stream Billy Corgan. You guys tune into that. It was like a 24-hour Billy Corgan drone live stream.
what's that mean?
He did this like 2 years ago. He did like electronic music for like 18 hours or something. Am I making this up?
Well,
Really?
that's funny because he ripped me off because I started a group where we droned for 24 hours.
What is a drone?
Just a drone music is just
Oh,
yeah. I started
Okay,
I started a band called Medium in Chicago, and we used to drone for 24 hours, and anyone could come in and out. Anyway, I can't believe Corgan ripped me off again.
We watched Billy Corgan play an 8-hour freeform synth interpretation of Siddhartha.
Oh,
Vice
okay.
article.
Doug, I got a question for you as a kind of, original style Chico kind of guy. Did you ever see the Pumps, kind of when they were not as big back then?
The Pumps.
The Pumps?
Pumps.
Pumpkins.
No,
Dude,
I
the
didn't.
Smashing David S. Pumpkins.
I did not. No, I remember I worked at a skate shop when they were first coming out, and I thought they were pretty cool. Maybe I saw them. I don't. I don't know. I don't think I did.
Did you ever bump into Darcy?
No, but my friend was like high school friends with James Eha, so I was like one step away from James Eha.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
that? Is he in the Pumps?
He was the guitarist. Yeah.
He was the main guy in a way.
No
I
way.
mean, James Eha. He was the main guy. I mean, if you don't, not counting Billy Corgan.
Can I say something mean on the train of me saying something mean about Billy Corgan?
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a fan of the band Pixies. And then I was watching a David Bowie interview where he talked about how much he loves Pixies because he covered their song Cactus on the album Heathens. And he was talking about how much he loved Pixies because, like, they just rock and nobody sounds like them. And he said, I like Pixies because the main guy, whatever his name is just this, like, large, screaming mass of flesh. And I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then for the first time, for some reason, I'd never seen what they looked like and watched 1,000 live videos of Pixies performing. And it is funny that it's just a big fat guy who screams in a tiny little voice.
Oh, so...
Oh, wait, a tiny little what?
He has a tiny little voice.
I guess
He's a
so.
big guy, and he's like, you can gouge away.
By the way, I love the Pixies. They were one of my favorites, big time.
Big time.
Pixies are up there way above Pumpkins for me. Are you a Pumpkins or a Pixie? Sarah.
Sexy.
Sarah, what are five of great bands that you've liked off top?
Yeah, what is your music? I want to know.
I can guess a couple.
Go.
I know you like Aphex Twin.
Go-Go's?
I love Aphex Twin. I do like the Go-Go's.
No, you said Go-Go, but I was just kidding. But
I like all of the pandemic. I've been feeling dramatic, and I've just been listening to Roxy music all day, every day.
what were you
Desperate.
into? What? Okay, I feel this really says something about. I don't know. I feel like this says something about people's story. What music were you most into? What were your top bands or artists in high school?
I was addicted to Neil Young and Morrissey. And when I grew up, I actually felt I was deprived of good music growing up because my dad said the Beatles were gay and we didn't listen to it in the house.
What did he listen to?
The Stones, dude. The Stones and the Who. And then when I was really little, I was like, I want to write a letter to Pete Townsend and tell him how much I love him. And that was like in the middle of his child's pornography scandal.
Well, you know what? You can like the Stones and the Beatles and the Who. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
And they're all
And
gay.
and
I don't know
child
what he's talking
pornography.
about.
You like it all. So, okay, so that's interesting. So Morrissey, that's what you were into. Okay.
Now, Sarah, what about Ariel Pink? What do you think about him?
You know what? It's sad with, we don't love to see what he's doing, creating a little bit of a mess. I always loved Ariel's music. I'll say it.
Good answer.
Good, but
Hey, on that topic, I mean, look.
Tough to watch. Tough to see what's It's sad to see what's happening. Okay.
On that topic, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and it will always be one of my favorite TV shows, is The Cosby Show. It's a great show.
Yeah, we know.
You can't deny it.
David Bowie is my favorite artist of all time. Did he rape a teenager? Yes, he did.
R.A.P. He rapped? Wait, what teenager did Bowie rap?
There was like a 14-year-old or something in a hot tub.
Are you talking about that? You're talking about that film director.
Honey, which one? Am I right?
So,
Brent,
look,
you know who I'm talking about?
Roman Polanski?
he's talking about
Yes.
Polanski, but I mean, look.
Let's.
So
you know
look,
what? We should avoid this topic.
Let's
just
avoid.
avoid it altogether.
Yeah, let's go somewhere else.
I just wanted to know about Ariel Pink because I know you were tweeting about him a little bit, and
Here's the thing.
Music
Love
is
his
great.
music.
Can we agree that
Music is great.
Okay.
Love his music. Rich kid from Beverly Hills. He needs attention or something really bad, and you gotta laugh at what he's doing. Showing up on Tucker Carlson wearing a big Jewish star blinged out. Come on, girl. Please. I mean, it's funny. You gotta laugh.
Come on, girl, please.
Come on, girl.
Come on, girl, please.
Now, Sarah,
Okay.
what have you been doing this whole time?
Nothing. I literally went insane, made this mural, made this other mural.
What are you doing in your studio?
Watching episodes of Real Housewives. Well, actually, what was it cool? Oh, I made this cool. I'll show you. I made a video where I was using this. I made a plaster butthole. Speaking of all the butthole stuff, it's this plaster butthole on the wall that has a tube attached to it, so you can blow shit through this tube and it comes out the butthole wall.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How does the wait, hold on. Let me see that real quick. So how does this work? What is that tube? Where's that tube connected to? Oh, you have to hook a pack to it or something like that?
Well, no, you can blow it. Like when I fill my mouth with
Chocolate.
Coca-Cola. Yeah, and then it comes out of here.
I was thinking when you were describing the hemorrhoid thing, the rectal area with the veins and stuff, it made me think you should definitely, I mean, Doug already said it, but you should do, one of your next projects should be hemorrhoid centric or something.
I mean, this is basically, this is a hemorrhoid right here.
Well, I reckon it is.
I reckon. I got this. I'm making stuff. I got this. Pretty cool.
That looked like a hemorrhoid.
Oh, look, I have another hemorrhoid.
Wait, it's freezing up. Oh, wait, there you go. So are you working? You did that awesome flayaway video for Adult Swim.
5.5 years ago.
Are you going to do more of that or what? We're all craving
I
it.
fucking want to. Why doesn't anyone give me money to do anything? It sucks. No one's letting me be make my $1 million projects.
Well, no one's letting me either, so join the club.
What the hell? Do you guys want to lend me $35,000? I promise the video will be good.
Do we get a return on the investment or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in GameStop stocks.
Hey, how about this, guys? Why don't we do what the GameStop people did? Not GameStop, but the people. Why don't we try to inflate the price of, some small stock, and then we can make big bucks. Wow.
Yeah, let's pump and dump. Let's just pump and dump with all the pound pimples.
Let's figure out. It's funny. By the way, when this GameStop thing happened, it reminded me of this thing I did with my Legacy Music Hour people, which is that there's this game that it's kind of a joke. It's a running joke, but it's a cheap game. It's, you get it for $5 or something on eBay. It's called Time Lord. And we had this kind of idea that what if we try to make, and Time Lord is kind of a frustrating game or whatever. We thought, what if we try to make, it's always a joke in a podcast for years. And we thought, it'd be funny if we try to bump up the price hardcore on it. And so we started trying to buy all the copies on eBay. And then we were selling them on eBay for way, way more than they should be. So it's a $5 game. And I have one up for $300 on eBay. And kind of, as a gag, and so did other people involved with the podcast or listeners to the podcast. They were kind of putting them up for more expensive prices. And the idea is that for people to sort of see these copies of the games and be like, why is it this much money, and then they start thinking, well, I should buy this for cheap, and then they could relist it. And then it was the same concept that they did with this GameStop thing, which is artificially inflate the price, and then it becomes actually valuable.
Right.
So I'm saying maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that with a stock right now. What stock do we want to get into, guys?
What is that called with marks? Like something fetishism? It's like diamonds are valuable just because someone decided they were expensive or something.
Right. It's interesting that people it's weird how value is weird, isn't it?
Well, it's because they're artificially rare, or you know what I mean? Like De Beers or whatever has them all. I mean, there's plenty of, if they were all on the market, it would be like, they ain't worth shit. But then since since they hold back on the diamonds and they only give you a couple diamonds here and there, then it makes them more valuable. Or something.
Can we buy stocks? Like, can I buy stocks in Doug or something, and we could inflate Doug?
We had a guest on the Poundcast who, in fact, does that. He opened himself up to be bought into, and you can buy shares of him. And his name is.
I want to do that. What the hell?
And his name is.
Andrew? His name is.
Isn't it Mike?
Mike Merrill.
Mike Merrill.
Mike Merrill. Sorry.
Oh, that was a while ago.
No, I got confused because he's from he was living in Portland for a while, and Andrew, our friend Andrew, knows him also. But anyway, Mike Merrill though. Anyway, you can buy him if you want to buy stock in Mike Merrill.
What do you get? What are you getting? Oh,
well, you can vote on. You can be on the board of his directors, and you could make life decisions for him, such as should he go vegan or should he cut his hair or should he do this or that. Like, he puts up a thing. You gotta listen to the show. I don't know if he's still
interesting.
I don't know if he's still doing all that.
I would do it, but I would raise the stakes.
Yeah.
Like, should I get big boobs as a joke? Should I?
Hold on. Would you ever do that?
Get
as a joke?
No, I actually will sometimes have nightmares where I look down and my boobs are enormous and they really hurt. I've had multiple nightmares about that, and I think it coincides with I have a lot of nightmares about being pregnant, and I'm like, oh God, how did this happen? How did I let this get so far? Because it's this like weird like nurturing fertility fear I think that I have.
Or maybe it's just a fear of hemorrhoids. Things just getting bigger. It's getting swollen.
Sarah and Brent, we've gone over an hour now. We should probably wrap up the main show, but let's keep talking on the After Dark portion. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Sarah, how can people? Everyone loves you. Everyone follows you. But if somehow they don't, how can they?
You know what, Doug? Guess what? They don't follow me, and they don't love me, and they don't watch my videos. So I would like all of the listeners and viewers right this very now to get their little fucking ass over to whatever, blah, 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 Sarah Squirm at whatever website. And for God's sakes, watch those. I'm done working so hard for them to not care. Okay? Watch the videos, have a laugh.
I care, okay? Look at any one of your videos. Go to those likes. Click on who's liking. I'll be at the top. I'm triple liking.
You know what, Doug? I want to look. Click on the video. I want to look. Click on the comments. Scroll down. Doug saying, "Ha, Sarah, this is so funny."
You know what? I'm gonna upgrade. You're right. I should upgrade my likes to retweets, reposts, and comments, and all that. Like, I'm dying. I can't breathe.
I don't need a repost. I don't need a retweet. I need that verbal affirmation. Sarah, you're doing great, sweetie. We all love support this. It'd be nice to get an email from Brent. Say, hey, you're doing great. Love it.
We should start emailing each other. Hey.
I did. I emailed you kind of sort of several months ago. Remember that Reading Rainbow clip?
Yeah, Brent emailed me a picture of the ugliest person I've ever seen.
No, oh my God. See, it's no, oh my God, no, I didn't think you can't even tell what her attractiveness level is.
It said Brent sent me a picture of the ugliest person I've ever seen and said, "This looks like you." And it was a person who just looked like David Koresh, which I also get. That's the thing that I get. People always text me like, "Oh my God, you look exactly like this person," and it's like a subway picture of a freak on the subway, like eating a rat. Like, it's all whatever.
Oh, real quick before we go, I would just like to say that I did make a documentary about David Koresh once. Koresh.
Mm-hmm.
It went straight Davidian. Straight Davidian.
I don't quite get that because that must be something involved with the Heaven's Gate cult or something like that. But I didn't. But it must be.
Wait, no, this is an old joke of mine. Because remember when things went straight to video?
Uh-huh.
His went straight to because he was the Davidian, right?
Yeah, I don't know that, but I get that it
All
probably
right,
meant
whatever.
something
It's a
like
great
that.
note to end this show on. Thank you for
It was
listening,
great. It was
everybody.
great. Let's
Thank you
just do a
to
quick thank.
LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast for 20% off.
Oh, wow, cool. You guys have
And
one of those.
thank you to who else?
El Bircho, Jack Birch, JC, Jackie Montana, and Chloe Bonilla, our interns. Thank you so much
Very good.
to those wonderful pound pimples
Very good.
that are
Jackie's
toiling in obscurity to bring you this wonderful show.
Jackie's been making some art and also putting together clips that you can see on the Instagram page, which is the Poundcast, and also the Twitter channel, which is called the Poundcast. And also, you know, Jack has been making those thumbnails for the YouTube videos, you know, and everything.
Dude,
Chloe's
Jack,
been-
they're all killing it. So
Chloe's
thank
been
you
doing
to
all the edits.
thank you so much to our wonderful pimples. And we'll
And
see
you
you.
can we can't end. We have to end.
It's over. I hit stop.
No, we needed. You have to find me on Crawlspace.
Oh, put me in your top 8 on Crawl Space, and we'll see you next week on the Poundcast.
Doug and Brett. 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 Just